Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about transforming lives one story at a time, and I'm your host, Nikki Clarke. So excited to be back to just have people from all walks of life come on the show and share their heart stories, their stories of empowerment and upliftment. And we talk about some of the great things they're doing in the community, the movers and shakers that they are in their own right. But we also talk about some of the things that challenge them and make them truly authentic. So I'm really so happy and honored to have an amazing woman on the line with us today. She's hailing from California, USA, and she is a business strategist, and she helps people kind of get out of that box of what they think they know of business and really raise the roof in terms of their empowerment and knowing how to raise their value. So please welcome Chella Diaz to the show. How are you doing today, Chella?
Outstanding. I am so delighted to be here.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much. And how's everything going in the United States? How are things in California? You know, with the pandemic, I guess, coming out of it?
You know, yes, we are, but we still a little bit, I'm playing it safe, so I'm still not going out into big crowds.
Yes, yes. Well, here we're in Toronto, Ontario. We're in what's called Step 3, so we can have a little bit of freedom, and it feels great, you know, to see family members and friends that you haven't been able to see in weeks, and actually, you know, sit in a restaurant. It feels great. So, yeah, you don't know what you have until it's taken away. So, awesome.
Amen.
Well, Chella, you know, I'm so thrilled to have you on, and I had the chance of chatting earlier with my own business needs, and you really helped me. And I really like, you know, your kind of matter-of-factness and just getting to the point and really seeing what you can do to assist people to understand their value in business. So let's talk a little bit about your background leading up to becoming a business strategist. How did that happen?
Oh, heavens. I'm going to give the short version because I really want to be able to empower it. Right. So I have been on this journey, and it was not until, because money is something that has made sense to me. It just did. I mean, I can go back to 8 years old, and money just made sense for me. It's like you want something, you know, what is it going to take to get it? What's the investment? And how do we get there, right? It just, for me, it was like A to B. Let's just get there. So, but it was when I met my former husband that I found out that other people don't see money the same way. Because we bring in our own beliefs, right? We bring in what we learned from adults.
Right.
But once we begin to, unveil and take all of that out of the equation, because we get, it's our business, it's our baby, and we're so afraid that somebody's going to tell us our baby is ugly. But I say that that's a blessing. If somebody doesn't like your product or your service, I call that a blessing because they're not your clients. Right? We need to search and we need to look for those people that are ready for our product or service.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you just kind of help people navigate to who they're supposed to connect with then.
Right? Be very clear about what their offering is. This is what I have. This is how I help people. And then let's just go out and look for those folks. And I know it sounds like a simple, but once you get that clarity in everything, because I think as business owners, we spend too much time with the people that are not our clients.
And then we spend all this time trying to convince them, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Right. And then we get frustrated because it's like, okay, we have this fabulous product. We have this fabulous service. Why isn't anybody, signing up? Why am I I'm not able to enroll people? because you're hanging in the wrong pond.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's good to understand through someone like you to have a better grasp on which pond to kind of float in, right, instead of wasting your time in the wrong pond.
Correct. And life becomes so much easier. Business, that's why I say then you raise your price, and then you get clear, and then you're able to attract the people that are ready for your product or service.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So you had this kind of inclination on you were going to work with businesses and you're going to help people with that kind of clarity. Did you know that early in your career, or what were some of the highlights in your journey that made you understand that, oh, wait, this is the gift that I have?
Well, my initial $1 million idea was to do financial literacy workshops for high school students. That's where I started.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, that was not keeping the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I haven't given up on that. But I found out. So my first book I published, it was geared towards high school students. I really thought,
what was the book
called? My God, it's called Money Boot Camp.
Okay.
And I really thought that was, and it's still very dear to my heart, to empower our young people to look at money differently. So that was my initial.
I agree with you. I think it's so important to have financial literacy early, as early as possible, and so that they don't make the mistakes and fall into the traps later on as adults.
Exactly. So I was doing some of those workshops, and then I thought, oh, God, yeah, we can buy the books. That would be another way for me to make money. I wasn't really wanting to charge the schools, but that didn't quite work out. And then somebody invited me to do the workshop for adults, actually for women. It's not just adults. They invited me to do the workshop for women in a shelter. So I began to do women's workshops. I still was not getting paid at that time. I still was like, okay, but I was finding my way. And that's when I found out that empowering women, because when you empower women like to go out and teach. I'm not saying men don't, but if you put a man and a woman, most likely the woman is going to go out and share, where men might be a little bit more, reserved about it.
Right.
So I began doing workshops for women, and then after a while, women wanted to know more. It's like, how can we work with you? How can you help me take this workshop and apply it to my everyday life? So then that's when the coaching practice began. It's just helping women get their money journey on track. And I did that for several years.
Excellent. So you're finding a niche. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes. And that's what I encourage the business owners, right? Even if you think, because I really thought for sure my idea to empower high school students was truly $1 million idea. But then I had to pivot. That was, if it's not paying, it's not keeping the lights on, then we need to find a different way. But I'm still doing the same thing that I started out to do. It's just a different audience.
Understood. So now you're here. Fast forward to 2021. We're almost, 2022. You're a business strategist, and who are your clients? Who's gravitating to you, Chella?
Coaches and experts. Somebody that provides a service. Because when they first started out in business, their prices were low. And they haven't increased their price in 2 years. Right? We start out very low because we're new and we don't know any better. I've been there. So it's just helping them see that you've been in business for 2 years, 3 years, the experience that you've acquired is worth the transformation that your clients are experiencing is worth a lot more money than they are currently charging.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was reading an article, and there was someone who made a comment about a client who was kind of objecting to the payment that they were asked to pay, like the invoice. And he says, well, I can get the service, less somewhere else. And the person said, well, you can, but you're not paying for the service. You're paying for my experience. And it's 25 years of skills, of the investment I made in my education and the talent. That's what I'm offering you. So I think that's really amazing, Chella, that you get people to recognize all of that in the value that they're offering people.
Correct. Absolutely, right? Because we all have a genius zone, and somebody is willing to pay us, right? We may need to, I'm going to put this into dating, we may need to kiss a free frog before we get to that ideal client, right? But I think sometimes we give up too quickly. If we get 10 no's, 10 people are not willing to pay you the fee, then we tend to give up. Or that's what I have found in my experience. It's about going to that 11th person, 12th person, 15th person, because it's finding the tribe. It's finding that new pond to fish that's going to, and it's ready to pay your fee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is very key. It's very important. And I think, once you get to that point in your business, like you said earlier, you alluded to it, it's very liberating. You don't waste time. You get right to where you recognize are potentially good clients, because you see certain, I guess, indicators of, this could be a good connection. After all the experience you have, you'd have to build up that kind of understanding, right?
Right. Absolutely. You're so right on that, right? It's building that muscle that's going to say, this person is not a fit for me. Move on, right? It's time next. It's time to go for to talk. Yeah. So it's crucial for our business.
It's very, very, very crucial. I just wanted to ask about the book. Is it available anywhere else? It's Money Boot Camp. Is it on Amazon?
Money Boot Camp. It is available on Amazon, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, for those who want to get a copy, is it just for teens, or can anyone relate to it?
Anybody can relate to it. It's basic, but it gives you enough information to build a solid foundation with it.
Fantastic. So tell me, Chella, how has your life been transformed by pursuing this passion project?
The amount of joy, and I've had a great life. I have 2 amazing sons, right? I'm former husband who we're still friends. So I've had a great life, but it was hard work, and it was overwhelm and frustration. So now doing this and watching other people achieve success, not only does it bring me joy, but I also get to experience their joy. So there's a lot more joy, tons more joy in my life, and I don't get into overwhelm as often. I'm not going to lie, business owners. I'm not going to say that I don't have tough days, but they don't happen as often.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. It's good to get to that point. And you choose very carefully now who you want to work with, and then that also gives you a lot of time freedom, doesn't it?
Correct, and that's the key, right? Once you're in the right, attracting the ideal client, and you're charging the fee you desire, you're making more money and you have more time on your hands. And ultimately, We all want that, right? Not only to mention that you have more money in order to make an impact and to give back. We all want to give back in some way, right? So whether it's money, whether it's time, so you make more money, you have more time, and then you're able to make an impact and give back.
Fantastic. And, you know, a lot of businesses have unfortunately folded. They couldn't keep up with, you know, all the challenges of the pandemic. But there are businesses that have just really, they've been thriving and continue to thrive even throughout all these changes. How has it been for you? How have you managed?
Last year was my best year ever.
Wow.
But I believe that was because for this is not an overnight success. I believe that was because for the past 5 years, I've been planting seeds. I've been connecting. I've been building relationships. So in 2020, all the seeds that I have planted, or some of the seeds that I have planted, began to blossom.
Okay. So it's like you said, it's not an overnight success, but it's just based on the harvest season, right? So
absolutely,
you had to get to that point after all the good work you've done earlier. So excellent stuff.
Absolutely.
So Chella, I appreciate, you know, your wisdom. Thank you for spending a little time with us and helping, you know, people recognize their greatness and not to undersell themselves in business. It's very important. Now, where can people meet you on social media to have maybe a one-on-one strategy session or even to buy your book? Where would they go?
They would go to my website, chelladiaz.com, CHELLA, D as in David, IAZ.com. The list of my books, I've also contributed chapters to other books. They're all there. And it's also a good way to send me a message and set up a time to chat.
Fantastic. All right. Chella Diaz, business strategist, author, motivational speaker, thank you again for your time with us. I enjoyed learning more about you, and definitely I'd like to get my signed copy of Money Boot Camp from my library. So I appreciate it. Thanks again.
My pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. You're welcome. You were listening to the Nikki Clarke Show with special guest Chella Diaz. Please meet her on social media. Have a safe and productive day. Bye for now.